Launching, but 2014 is going to be a big year for Nintendo, as Reggie said, and we got some new stuff on Donkey Kong, which is going to be coming out in early 2014, right?
That's correct. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is going to be launching in February, so It'll be the first big game for Wii U in the new year. And what we're showing off today is a new level called Jelly Jamboree.
Okay.
And as you can see, it's a lot of fun. Pretty much the entire level is comprised of these little jelly blobs that bounce you up. And you can see that not only are your characters bouncing off of these, but the enemy characters are enjoying themselves as they're bouncing off of them as well. And they're kind of flipping in the air. The penguins are, they've got these big smiles on their faces right before you stomp on their heads.
Well, and similar to the Super Mario 3D World, I love the kind of the fidelity of the animation and the art. I mean, it looks absolutely beautiful, and Donkey Kong Country has always, really sort of defined this really cool 3D look, and now they've carried it on to all these amazing levels. So this is kind of midpoint in the game, or what we're seeing here?
This is in one of the later levels. The game is sort of made up of 6 islands, and you're island hopping from island to island. The storyline is that these the Snowmads, who are these invaders from the north, have come, taken over Donkey Kong Island, kicked Donkey Kong and his friends off, and they've frozen the island. And so Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, and who we're showing today is Dixie Kong, are on their journey back to their island to try to take it back from the Snowmads.
The characters, they obviously, they're in the level together and they can play together. And I know tonight you're showing off something new, which is a Kong Pow.
That's right. The Kong Pow, when you're playing a 2-player, what you need to do is you need to collect 100 bananas. That fills up your meter and gives you the ability to do this Kong Pow. And then the 2 players have to time their C button press together at the same time in order to get this new ability to work. And then what that does is it destroys all the enemies on the screen and transforms them into items that you can pick up, and the items that you pick up depend on which buddy character you're using. So in Dixie Kong's case, it transforms them into these golden hearts that you can pick up, and the golden hearts will give you, each golden heart gives you an extra hit before it would then turn into a red heart. So it's very handy and obviously very powerful, but also a little bit challenging to pull off because you've got to time it just right.
So if you're playing by yourself, are you going to have any way to do Kong Pows?
That is a very good question. You will. Of course, the game, the way it's designed, the primary player is always Donkey Kong. When you're playing multiplayer, a secondary player can play as one of the buddy characters, but when you're playing single player, then you're in control of both. What's fun about the co-op is that you are able, when you've got the 2 characters split up, the first player can grab the other character, or the other character can jump on Donkey Kong's back, and then player 1 can take control. So it is a very challenging platformer, so having that ability to both be cooperative but also kind of buddy up is really nice.
Guys, we're back here on GTTV with Bill Trinan. Bill, we have even more Donkey Kong goodness for the fans tonight. Another level which plays into the freeze theme is we're getting a little closer to home, so it's a little chillier now.
That's correct. This is the first level back on DK Island. It's called Homecoming Hijinks, and what's really fun about this level is obviously it's all completely frozen. You'll see little hints that maybe will remind you a bit of the first level from Donkey Kong Country Returns on Wii, but this is a totally new level. All the levels on Donkey Kong Island are different this time, and they're actually quite challenging. I was trying to play through this earlier and having some struggles, but
even me, master player Bill Trinan.
What's really fun is that the way that the ice has frozen elements in the environment, and then you as players, you're jumping on these platforms and causing sort of the ice to crack and break, and then platforms will fall off, entire elements of the environment will sort of start to collapse. Of course, Donkey Kong, it's really about the precision of your platforming abilities, and so trying to find those right moments to hit those platforms, make those jumps, and then to sort of launch out of cannons when you're firing through the level is really where you start to get a lot of the challenge in this level.
People obviously remember the barrels and the mine carts and things like that. I mean, what are some of the cool ways you're going to be able to interact with the environment in this game?
There are a lot of different things that they've done this time. One in particular, they've added a plucking ability. You're able to pull these things out of the ground that will trigger different elements of the environment to then start shifting or moving. The other thing that they've added is with they've kind of enhanced your ability to pick up and throw objects and carry objects around, and so that plays sort of a big part in terms of how you decide decide to, what objects you're grabbing, how you would use those to interact with the different enemies. But one of the biggest changes that we've seen with the game is what they're doing with some of the camera work, particularly early on in the game, where instead of just being that straight side-scrolling level, you're getting the camera flying in, and you're getting these worlds from these different angles, and that really allows them to do some different things, particularly on the minecart levels, from a depth and strategy standpoint that they hadn't been able to do when it was just a straight side-scrolling.
Well, even like the intro to this level, I mean, it's just cool where the camera's sweeping around. I mean, it's like Donkey Kong in a way you haven't seen before.
Exactly. Retro Studios has really done an amazing job of not only bringing their technical capabilities and creating a strong platformer like Donkey Kong Country, but they've also found these new ways to really help give you a new view into the Donkey Kong world. It's a lot of fun.
Well, it's fantastic, and we are excited that it's going to kick off 2014 for Nintendo in February. So lots of cool stuff in the game, and I'm sure still more to reveal about all things Donkey Kong.
That's
Tropical
right.
Freeze. All right, thanks, Bill.
Thank you.